All right, so once again, I'm live. Hmm, Probably like third time this week. A lot of things been going on in news like every day. Um, I ain't really put a description for the night or what I'll talk about because I just kind of want to go with the flow. There's so much stuff to talk about tonight. Um, let's see what we got to talk about because we got a lot of things that got to be addressed. Chemicals, malaria, FDA, and more. So, about a hot day today too. Another thing. Okay. So, ooh, boy. But nevertheless, a lot of things going on. Um, I talk about chemicals in the hair. That's causing people cancer. A lot of things. I need to break this down more in depth, though. That way, we can address it in a better light. Um, and some things need to be put in more context than what we've been doing. Because this is a crisis that's going on right now in the community. All right. So I got it up there. Just waiting for Shaq to come on. Um, we'll discuss it more in depth. Because this stuff really got to be discussed a lot more. All right, let me call him right now so I can get him on. I'm trying to look for the number. Okay. Yeah, waiting on you.
All right.
Gotcha. All right, so that's it. All right, so get them on. Talk about these hair products. We talk about a lot of things, and we try to break this thing down really quickly. Don't want to be here all night talking about it. Just want to be here for a short period of time. Also, we got to talk about all this stuff going on in the World Economic Forum, Lithuania, all that other stuff. A lot of things going on at one time, and that's why it's been so hard. And tornadoes in Chicago. Stuff like that. It's a lot of things going on there. Also, we got to talk about how people are not, you know, just health in the black communities. Um, it's really like it's at a premium, but it's actually not at a premium. It's more like, you know, I would say paramount right now. Talk about the Hollywood writers' strike, and probably gonna even talk about UPS for a minute. Um, so a lot of things could be coming on down the pike at one time, and I'm not sure that we know how to, you know, we might not know how to handle it, but we're gonna get better. I truly believe we can get better at what we're doing. Some of us can if we work together. Yeah, what's going on, Frank? But it is what it is. Also, there's a DNA thing too. I got to bring up. I don't know where he's at. I gotta start this thing though.
Chemical straighteners, hair dyes, perms, you name it. But are we paying for these fashion choices with our health? Health headlines would have you believe so, but we're not so sure. That's the topic of this week's Healthcare Triage. Way back in 2019, we covered a study on the link between breast cancer and the use of hair dyes and chemical straighteners. There was no need to be alarmed, reported there. Well, now there's a new study on these hair products, this time reporting an association with uterine cancer. The research uses data from the same place as the breast cancer research previously covered. This sister study, which from 2003 to 2009 collected data from over 50,000 women in the US and Puerto Rico between the ages of 35 and 74 whose sister had breast cancer. If you've seen the news reports, you may have seen that this new study is reporting an increased risk of uterine cancer of over 80%. And that sounds pretty scary. But this is the relative risk, not the absolute risk. As we've covered in many, many previous episodes, the absolute risk is what really matters. So what was the absolute risk in this study? The increase in the absolute risk of developing uterine cancer for women who straighten their hair 4 or more times per year was just 0.03% per patient year, meaning 0.03% of these women developed uterine cancer during each year of the study. Note that there was not a significant difference in risk between women who never use these products and women who reported using them less than 4 times per year. The risk only became significant for those reporting use more than 4 times per year. So I guess that means that you're good if you use these products 3 times a year, but not 5 times a year. Who knows? And these data are all self-reported, so it's hard to say if the actual number of times used were even accurately reported. Memory is notoriously unreliable. Also note that no association was found between cancer risk and the use of permanent, semi-permanent, and temporary dyes. There was also no increased cancer risk associated with the use of bleach, highlights, and perms. One of the main underlying hypotheses here is that these hair products are endocrine disruptors or chemicals that mimic or interfere with hormones. If this were true, it seems confusing that only some of the products would do that. Adding to the confusion, the related study on breast cancer found that cancer risk increased for permanent dyes, but not semi-permanent or temporary. Lots of mixed signals here. And as reported by others, the risk was no longer significant in women who exercise, and the study may be biased because it necessarily had to study people who had not had a hysterectomy, meaning they'd had their uterus removed. The women reporting straightener use tended to be younger, and people who get hysterectomies tend to be older. So it's possible that a bunch of women who would have gotten uterine cancer and do not use these hair products weren't included in the study simply because they'd had a hysterectomy. The evidence may suggest a risk, albeit a small one, but it's hard to say that it's a risk worth changing your routine for. Hey, did you enjoy this video? You might enjoy this previous video on whether hair dye is linked to breast cancer. We'd appreciate it if you'd like the video. Subscribe to the channel down below and consider going to patreon.com/healthcaretriage where you can help support the show, make it big.
It's a pretty big news right there. If that's right. I don't understand though. Like, why are you taking all these products? Is it vanity over sanity? Sometimes we just have to be more natural. That's all I'm saying. And we be more natural, we'll win out in the end. I promise you, we will. Win out in the end if we're more natural. But if we're not, we're gonna come up with some bad results. Oh. All right. So what's the deal? So that goes to show you that daggone things that you don't think can affect you really can. What's going on, brother?
Peace. Can you hear me?
What's going on?
Mic check.
Yeah, I'm here. I hear you. I'm talking about these hair dyes.
Oh, okay. I'm here.
So I'm gonna play the next one. I already got the first one. It was interesting. So I get the second one. That was
New studies out on hair dyes and breast cancer risk, and a wide range of media has covered it in full force, some with caution and some without. Let's take a step back and consider the whole picture. This is Healthcare Triage News. To the research. Study published December 3rd in the International Journal of Cancer reports that the use of hair dyes and chemical straighteners, particularly among Black women, is associated with a higher risk of breast cancer. The researchers analyzed data from the SISTER study, which tracks the health of over 50,000 women who had a sister diagnosed with breast cancer but did not have breast cancer themselves when entering the study between 2003 and 2009. The current study reports that use of permanent but not semi-permanent or temporary hair dye is associated with a 45% increase in breast cancer risk for Black women and a 7% increase in risk for white women. Use of chemical straighteners reportedly increased risk equally between Black and white women, even though 74% of Black women report using them compared to only 3% of white women. The problem is that these studies require many of the same caveats you've heard me talk about before, but bear with me as I repeat. Those percentages I just mentioned represent the relative risks. Absolute risks give you numbers that are more meaningful, but they're almost never reported. These are also observational data, which means nothing has been proven to be causal. The data, like how many times have you dyed your hair and what kind of dye was it, were also obtained by a self-report, and since memory is extremely fallible, we have to accept that these are imprecise. I don't mean that they're worthless, I mean we have to be measured when we interpret them. It's also good to mention that data on associations like these can be wildly inconsistent, often due to the factors I've just mentioned. Plenty of studies have reported the associations that show an increase in the risk of breast cancer, and then enough have reported that permanent hair dye does not increase the risk, that the Susan G. Komen Foundation website takes the position that there isn't conclusive evidence of risk here. Of course, it's important to study risk factors for breast cancer, and of course, it's important to understand the effects of various chemicals and compounds in the products we put in and on our bodies. And of course, I understand that we always can't do a randomized controlled trial when it comes to potential carcinogens. But we need to be more careful about lathering media attention on single observational studies reporting on very small signals that could very well have no real-life significance. Kudos to the NPR report on this study, which included the view of a medical oncologist at Johns Hopkins who pointed out, and I quote, "This is a very weak signal that these things might be causing cancer in the population." He goes on to point that the actual risk factor of these products is quite low when compared with other known carcinogens. An inch of scientific progress is often covered like a mile in the media, misleading and often unnecessarily alarming the public. Hey, did you enjoy this episode? You might enjoy this other episode on things you can do to prevent some cancers. We'd also like you to think about liking and subscribing down below.
What's up, man? What you think, man? What you think, man? What you think, man? Oh, yeah. Oh. Yo. Chak, wait. Oh. Yeah, whatever.
What up? What up?
What's going on? Chak, wait. Oh.
What's good? Can you hear me?
Yeah, whatever.
What up? What up?
You good? What's going on?
I got the echo. Hold up. Yeah, my bad.
Yeah, you got echo behind you though.
What's
Now look
good?
at
What's the
Shaq
word? What's the
come
word,
back
man?
in. Oh, here he is now. All right, Shaq, what do you think, man?
Shaq, peace, peace, man. What the hell happened? Is that
Peace,
my
peace. What
mic
up,
on
Frank? Can
there?
you hear me? Mic check.
Yeah, I can hear you. What do you think about them hair dyes, Shaq?
Wow, bro.
Man, boy. Hey, weapons of mass destruction, baby. Biological warfare,
Is it
chemical
vanity
and
over sanity?
biological. Hmm.
Is it vanity over sanity?
Yeah, but it's a biological and chemical warfare.
Mm. So why they keep putting them in their hair then? Hmm?
That is a great question. We need to stop the hair dye tour. We need to go on a tour. Frank,
Man.
let's put
You
the
notice
tour
that?
together.
You know, well, I'm okay. Our women. I guess I could say that. But they dye their hair more than ever now, man. It's like the trend. You know, I mean, females. They go with the trend like a mug. I mean, some of these dudes nowadays too. This damn internet got people really, really just attention hungry. You know what I'm saying? But our women need to really watch out, man, because I just be seeing females with. I was talking to this dude at my job today. He said, "Man, I seen a female at the Atlanta airport. Man, they had weaves down in their butt, and they had yellow blonde weaves." And so I was dying. Me and him was dying. But see, that's the thing. The blonde weave.
Hey, wait a minute, man. You got echo in the background.
Oh no, my bad. Shit, hold up.
Let me say it though. Let me say it though. They do got them down to their butt. You know what I saw? I was at the basketball game the other night. I saw one of them with the gold weave all the way down her butt. Back her back. I said, man, she was nice looking, dark skinned sister, but she with her mom too. I like, no, I'm good. I can't even do it. I'm sorry. No, man. Left is self degradation and lack of self worth. Mm. But then you tell them about it, they get mad. So it's not all their fault. It's more of a societal thing. We got to do something to change it. Shaq, can you hear me?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, somebody echoing though. I think he on mute.
I'm up. Is my echo on?
It might be you, cause I think he on mute.
Okay, let me go out and come back in then.
All right, Shaq, Frank, what's up, brother? What's up, Darius? Oh shit, I forgot to do this. Damn. Thanks, man, for coming over, man. Dang, I be forgetting, Darius. Fair use copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976 allows made for fair use purposes such as criticism, comment, news, important teaching, scholarship, education, research. Fair use of the use permitted by copyright statute otherwise be infringement. Hey, Frank, you there? Let's see. Get this thing about mosquito though.
My name is Stephen Dobson. I am the CEO of Mosquitomate. I'm also a professor of entomology
We talking about these genetically modified mosquitoes. That's what we talking about here. Because now they're telling you malaria is up in the United States, which I think is a bunch of nonsense. But you want to GMO kill bill mosquitoes? Yes, brother. Yes. GMO. So Darius, you know what? You in the chat before you came on. We were talking about women wearing these hair dyes in their head. It was causing cancer and uterine cancer. What's your thoughts on it, Darius? I mean, I already did 2 videos on the hair dyes and stuff. What's with these women? Do they not love themselves and self-esteem? What is it? I'm just asking. Since you in the chat, just asking. What is it? You know, they got the long weave down to the butt and stuff like that. What's that? I think it's kind of crazy myself.
And it'd be blonde, like damn, dude, it'd be these hair colors, man. You know what I'm saying? They'd be like, oh, white supremacy, racism. But then you get the blonde weave though.
Some of them got red weave, orange weave, blue weave. Damn, boy, they doing pretty bad, man. But you tell them about it, to get mad.
But see, I think they do it. They don't do it for us. You know what? I mean, maybe for the gay friends. You know what I'm saying? We don't do it for men. They do it for each other to compete. It's competition. They're not like, oh man, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get this blonde burgundy weave. You know what I'm saying? So these men can fucking stare at me now. They're doing that shit, you know, to compete with the next female. You know, but the thing is, man, if you have high self-esteem, man, a real woman's not gonna want to compete with nobody. You know what I'm saying? What are you competing for? You know, but attention is gold, man. Like y'all be saying, vanity over sanity. Attention is gold. See, the real gold to us is gold. To men is gold. You see what I'm saying? The gold to them is attention. So, you know, I would rather. Would you say, Shaq? The gold to them is attention. That's their go-to. That's currency to them.
Yeah, it's like a drug, Frank. Like it's turned to an addiction. Addicted to vanity.
I got something to say, Frank, about that. Number one. Think about this business. And you think about it. Yeah, hood chicks with the blonde weaves and stuff, they just looking for shock value in order to get attention. And stuff like that. So, yeah, that's true. All right, so yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah. Looking for shock value in order to get attention. You know what? I normally would agree with that, but and I think it could be to get attention. Actually, it's probably part of it, but this ain't even really attention anymore. This is kind of like a way of life because, like I was telling Shaq the other day, this ain't just chick in the hood doing this anymore. This is professional women, you know, women that running companies doing it. So they done actually infiltrated the so-called hood mentality into the professional ranks, and all of them doing it. It's just getting wild. So, you know, you can't tell a bro from the projects now to a bro that's a CEO of a company. She might have it. But I know what you're saying. That is true. I mean, it just went a little bit higher up the scale now. That's all I'm saying.
Absolutely. Yep.
And think about it. Some of them, I mean, I was at the basketball game tonight, man. I saw, you know, they got the daughters. These girls couldn't be no more than 15 or 14 years old. One of them had pink hair. Yep. The more ratchet, the better. Some of them nurses and stuff like that, you know, like my buddy. You know, I was in the store the other day, Shaq. I saw a woman with nails like this, you know, curled up. You know, they're so long and stuff. I'm like, boy. And my buddy was like, man, I don't want no woman with no nails that long. He was like, why? He like, how is she able to clean herself? I said, you know what? You got a point.
Yeah. Our sanitary is that. Damn.
Yeah, but nevertheless,
What about with the claw nails? The claw nails, like my thing.
I told you the nails were long like this, Frank. They was curled up.
But how you gonna wipe your ass though? That's my question. I mean, seriously, dude.
Hey man,
You know what I'm saying? You can't be sanitary, man. You know what I'm saying? You can't keeping up with yourself on the right, man, with that shit. You know what I'm saying? But see, the thing is, I get it. The next bra I gotta get it. Why do they gotta get it? They just gotta get it. You know what I'm saying? Because it's, I guess, to look like that bra. But that bra's a millionaire, dude. You're not gonna be a millionaire because you have these fucking claws. You're not gonna be a millionaire because you have this the Indian hair on your head. You know what I'm saying? Uh, it's bra from New Delhi's hair on your head. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna be a millionaire. You know what I mean? If you just look ridiculous and ratchet. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, it's just like it's just trend. Everything's a damn trend, man. At this point, man. The internet done made it worse, man. The internet just killed it. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Well, let me go ahead and get to my next subject here. Mosquito meats.
In the College of Agriculture at the University of Kentucky. I've been here for over 20 years, working on this technology, basically using mosquitoes to control mosquitoes. This technology was invented at the University of Kentucky. It was patented by the University. Mosquito Mate has agreement and we've licensed that technology. The technology, there's no chemicals involved. There's no genetic modification. And so we've been organically listed by OMRI, bacterium called Wolbachia. It's a naturally occurring bacterium. It's found in over half of all insects, which means that if you went to your backyard here in Lexington with a net and you scooped up beetles and butterflies and crickets, half of them would have this bacterium already. So what was invented at the University of Kentucky and patented is the ability to take this Wolbachia bacterium and move it across into the mosquito where it can cause this form of sterility. And so that's the basis for this technology, which is now being utilized around the world. Up until Mosquito Mate, your options are to have somebody come and spray your backyard. The problems with that include these chemicals can not only harm mosquitoes, but they can harm other insects as well.
We really didn't want to spray, first because we had things going on around, but we have some flowers and we like the bees and the butterflies, which we still have.
And there are what we call beneficial insects that we don't want to harm. Maybe these are important pollinators.
The good humidity that comes with central Kentucky and all the rain and we get through the spring and stuff certainly leads to plenty of friends in the neighborhood. And so it's always a struggle to either you just give up and you stay inside, or you coach your kids with off and they smell bad when they come in, or whatever you have to do, right, so that you're not all cooped up.
The Asian tiger mosquito is the one that is causing 90%, probably 95% of the complaints in Kentucky.
Basically, we just wore long sleeves, right, and long pants, and put on the repellent, and we dealt with it, and it wasn't fun. Didn't enjoy it.
We come to your backyard and we release mosquitoes. But they're male mosquitoes, and male mosquitoes don't bite. They will fly around, they'll drink nectar, they may pollinate some plants, but they basically spend their entire lives looking for a mate. They're looking for females in your yard, and when these mosquitoes mate with the females in the backyard, they sterilize the females for the rest of their lives. These females lay eggs, have enough eggs in your backyard to hatch your population.
Any treatment, there's always an immediate, result. And so with this, there was not so much an immediate result, but as the summer went on, it was notably better, right? And so the skeptic in you would say, well, this year it's just a little lighter. But as the summer went on, it was more and more evident that even though there are a couple still around, it was so much better.
If you need an immediate knockdown, you need a chemical. So we are more of a preventative approach. We start early in the spring, continue all summer long. We pay for females from eggs.
We do a survey. We look at people's properties. We assess what's happening. And then we determine about how much we need to release at a particular property. And some property invoice is a little bit higher because they want us to treat. So we have quite a few properties that we do that are a couple of acres.
And what we're really trying to do trying to partner together, a cluster of 4 homes. That's going to be a much more protected zone than an individual that's surrounded by untreated homes. And that really brings price down to what's very competitive, almost equal to what it costs to have people come and barrier spray throughout the summer.
Neighbors are intrigued. They haven't heard of this approach. They've heard of mosquito service coming in and but they haven't heard about this. It's good.
As we release various garden beds, flower beds underneath trees and shrubs, we also look for any potential sites, standing that we want to get rid of where mosquito pupa and larvae could live for a while. And for any water areas that we cannot remove, we will treat with a larvicide that will kind of kill off any immature insects before they become adults.
It's clean. You don't have a bunch of pesticides around, so our cat doesn't get sick and the kids don't get sick. You're not a nuisance when people come and fog your yard and it smells.
We don't want to eradicate all mosquitoes. Again, there's thousands of species out there, and most of them are an important part of the ecological system, and they don't hurt us a bit. But of the ones that are biting us here in Kentucky, and especially the ones that are invasive species, I mean, the tiger mosquito wasn't here before 1985. If we could eradicate it, that would be a good thing.
All right, what y'all think about that? Whoa.
I mean, I ain't surprised, you know.
What do you think about that, Frank?
I ain't surprised, man. They, you know what I'm saying? They, obviously, you know, you've been hearing about these mosquitoes and stuff like that with, you know, carrying disease. Obviously, I mean, anybody with some common sense would have known that these people was putting this shit in there, you know. Like, come on, it don't work like that. You know what I'm saying? They just, you know, automatic. Oh, you know, they bit something. You know what I'm saying? That had it. Oh, okay, yeah. You know what I mean? Like, right. You know what I'm saying? Same old. You know, the same old excuse. Sure, they did. You know. It's like, you know, come on, man. I mean, I don't know. Not a lot of people. Let me not say that because not a lot of people got common sense. You know what I'm saying? You know, a lot of common sense ain't so damn common. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't have the critical thinking. You know what I'm saying? The wherewithal to actually, you know what I'm saying, actually put 2 and 2 together and make 4. So, you know, these people, man. I mean, see, but the thing is, stuff comes out like this, and you know, we expose and this and that, and it's the frustrating about nothing happens. But see, I see why nothing happens. You see what I'm saying? Because, you know, the government makes it to where it doesn't happen. You know what I'm saying? And if you say something about it, you're a conspiracy theorist. You're crazy, you know. So it's just like, it's man, the game is rigged, man. The game is rigged.
You say game is rigged.
It's rigged, man. But ain't nothing gonna happen to these people for doing this. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's just crazy. Like, all right, let's just, you know, accept the fact that these motherfuckers is doing and poisoning and killing us and shit, and so everything's all good. Interesting. You know what I'm saying?
It is interesting, isn't it?
It's like,
all right, Shaq, what you think? Hold on. He was out. Shaq, what you think about the GMO mosquitoes?
GMO mosquitoes, man. I'm trying to understand how. Can you hear me?
They got a patent on it. Yeah, they got a patent on it.
They got a patent on it. I'm pretty sure they do.
University of Kentucky.
I mean, it make you think. What else could they? What else could they
What you
come up
think?
with? They're making these fucking insects and shit. What else? You know what I'm saying? What else they gonna come up
They
with?
have
What
a
else they
patent
gonna
on
do?
your brain. They have a patent on your brain.
And you know what else they had a patent on too? I don't want to say it on here, but you already know what they had a patent on. How you have a patent on
I
a
know they had a
disease?
patent.
It's like, how you the fuck you patent a disease? Oh, that means what does that mean? You know what I'm saying? But yet I say that I'm a conspiracy theorist, so I'm not even tripping.
Well, yeah, Shaq, the GMO mosquitoes, baby. They had a concert in Baltimore where um, the mosquitoes were released on people. They were swatting the mosquitoes and stuff.
You said they were swatting mosquitoes.
What? You know what? He said they're in Texas too. Come think about it.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah, and of course they got a vaccine for it. They got a vaccine for something else too. I think it's for uterine cancer or something like that. I was looking at it earlier. I had to go back and find it.
They got a
Let me pull this
vaccine
up
for
first, and
uterine
then I'll try
cancer.
to do it. I think they said they're gonna get one. Something I gotta go back and look at it. It was something about a vaccine for something else. It was something crazy. They got a new abortion pill. They got a new abortion pill medicine that was or contraceptive that was released today by FDA too. Yeah, that was out there too. But let me play this first, and then we get to this.
Viral video of this tense moment between a DoorDasher and a Texas customer posted on TikTok is bringing up this big debate over tipping culture in the. I want you to watch if you haven't seen it. Look.
I just want to say it's a nice house for a $5 tip.
You're welcome.
Ooh, so sounds like a little bit of an expletive there from.
Is that me or you or your video skipping?
That's crazy.
That's me. Is it playing, Bernard? I can't hear it.
They're playing on mine. Playing on mine.
I can't hear it. Oh wow. Hmm.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but the video ain't playing on my end. It was playing at first, but I can't hear the audio.
Frank, can you hear me?
Hmm.
Yeah, yep, uh-huh.
You hear the video, Frank?
I don't know why they echo.
Yeah, but it's like it is doing
Man,
some
that echo
weird, peculiar. You know what I'm saying?
Let's try it. Let me try it again. Let me try it
Weird,
again.
man.
We can hear you now.
That's super weird.
Hear me now?
Yeah.
All right, Shaq, can you hear me now? God damn. Frank, can you hear me?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Something going on with his thing. I'm gonna call him and see. Yo. Yeah, what's going on with your thing, man? You keep messing up. Okay, so hold on. I'm gonna let you. I'm gonna leave you on speaker and let you hear it from here, and you just talk on that. That way we keep on getting. So we won't keep on getting doing that. Is it good? Yeah, but I'm gonna have you on the phone so you can hear the audio from the phone, and then you just respond that way off the phone. Put you on speaker so you can do it that way. That way it's easy. Gotcha. Yeah, because yeah. That way, yeah, it'd be easier. All right. That way we get rid of that little problem right there. Okay. I guess still gotta look up what I'm looking for. Oh yeah. All right, you know what? Let me bring this situation up now, Shaq. I told you I'm gonna give you 5 minutes to talk about it. I'm gonna get rid of the video right now. Fuck the forget that.
Yeah, I'll just come in.
No. We're gonna so Shaq, you've been talking about problems with women, and we've been talking about this thing. I asked you earlier about this thing with Keke Palmer. I said, what is this about? Why are we bringing this up? What's going on? Why now, right? Did you say why now? You hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, so what you said something about Keke Palmer in this situation. Why now, like you said?
Yeah. Why is it viral? Why is this particular situation viral? What's unusual about this situation? I mean, is that not part of Usher's his set? Is on when he do his concerts? Isn't that part of his stage act? Grab a woman and go to the section. These people sit in the section politically for him to grab them and pull them up on the stage. So I'm trying to understand what's the big hysteria with Keke Palmer being pulled up there. But see, what they're trying to do is they're pretty much trying to make them now. But I just thought about it, maybe not the scapegoat, but maybe tools of this modern. This what we talk about, this modern female, this modern lifestyle of this modern relationships. This modern way, when there's modern woman thing, this modern relationship type thing, where you don't have to be married, but you can still be independent and a bad bitch, a boss bitch. You don't have to get married to a motherfucker, but you can still have a baby mama. And, you're your own boss. You control your household. You control your man. You control your child. Bullshit. That's just something I just thought of right now because I'm like, what's the hysteria? I mean, why her? Why now? What's significant? What's so important to talk about her and her boyfriend? It's the relationship between her and a kid, a child's father. Why we need to know that about them two?
Hold on. Frank, what do you think about this, man?
No, it's definitely like a distraction type thing, and then it seems like it's division too, though. You know what I'm saying? It's to push the division, amongst us and our, I'm a quote unquote women, our
Shaq,
women, right? You know what I'm
Kevin
saying?
Samuels, is it Kevin Samuels come back?
Man, Kevin Samuels come back, nigga. Not bad. Hey, Kevin Samuels come back, man. But see, it's just me and two. We participate, man.
You know what? Hold on, Shaq. Hold on, Shaq. Frank, Shaq sent a video tonight of Kevin Samuels with this woman that said that she was basically living on apps. Did not know how. She said, I don't know.
Play the video. You ain't got it?
No, I don't know where I put it in, man.
Well, that bad boy, what happened? What happened?
No, it's like 20 minutes long. I ain't going through the whole video, man. But what I'm saying, I mean, she didn't know what an app was. She didn't know. I mean, she said, I'm making money on apps. He's like, well, who you living with? What's your living arrangement? You're like, why you want a high value man? You ain't got your living arrangement straight.
Damn.
And
damn, dude.
She didn't know she was on a lease or not, it seemed like. She's 23 years old. But then she got combative too.
Of course. I mean, he a so-called black man, man. You a so-called black man, man. They can argue back. They gonna get at you, man. But you know,
Man,
if you another race, they're not gonna come at you like that. You know how we do each other.
Some of the women probably daggone throwing shit in his grave right now.
Right.
Nah, I'm joking. They probably ain't doing that, but nah, it was just selective outrage. I mean, they don't have selective outrage of Sexy Red.
Right now.
Yeah, she said pound town, her asshole brown. I'm like, come on, man. I'm like, boy, Jesus. I said, these ones ain't got nothing to do, man. You know what she said on this song, Frank? She said she out in Miami. Her son looking for her son a new pappy. I'm like, what the hell?
Who said that?
This girl named Sexy Red. She like
Sexy Red.
Yeah, she got red and gold weave in the head. Red on one
Oh,
side.
that's brought for those. But see, who are these people? Where do they come from? These people be plants like a motherfucker. Back in the day, you at least seen that the motherfucker was underground and you know
work with a small head.
But now these people, guys, girls, whoever the fuck, they just pop up out of nowhere. Like, who the fuck are these motherfuckers, man? It's like, you know what I'm saying? I mean, really some plants, man.
Shaq, what you think about this, man? It's bad, ain't it, Shaq?
It's very telling to see the young women at such a young age that's already stuck in their ways and mentality, and they don't. Even when they're looking for advice, they're gonna tell you. Even when they come to you for advice and a logical explanation of some reason, they're gonna still beat you, and try to beat you in the conversation, and tell you that you're wrong. Damn. You just start.
He right. Yeah, you right. All of them don't go on.
18. They just started fucking 4 years ago, but they want to tell you.
Well, look, Frank, I'm about to bring on one of your favorite topics. Here we go again.
That's what prosecutors called Mohammed al-Zahari. They say he planned a Pulse-style massacre right here in the Tampa Bay area, much like what happened to that nightclub in Orlando. Thankfully, though, federal agents stopped him before he could carry out that attack. Today, al-Zahari was sentenced in federal court in Tampa.
And as Fox 13's Gloria Gomez reports, he is off nearly 2 decades.
Muhammad Ali al-Zahari is accused of planning a mass shooting in Tampa Bay in the name of ICE. Discovered an arsenal of weapons and his digital fingerprints on targets around the Bay Area.
The court made clear and made known that he wasn't just an extremist, he was an extremist and a terrorist.
The FBI says his ominous text messages reveal the carnage he planned to unleash. In February, al-Zahari pled guilty to 1 count of attempting to provide material and resource organizations known as ISIS. His lawyers say, for his guilty plea, the government has agreed to a sentence of 18 years in prison. Today, the judge accepted the deal. The federal prosecutor seen here leaving the courthouse asked for a life sentence of probation, arguing to the court, quote, "A violent extremist doesn't change overnight." The judge agreed.
And in sentencing, the government made a clear case that this individual was a terrorist. He was an extremist, somebody who is intent in causing mass murders, killing multiple citizens of this country not just this country, are in our backyard.
Investigators say al-Zawahiri was on the FBI's list since March of 2020. Some of the covert surveillance included a secret spy plane that gathered 900 clips of al-Zawahiri. They say the spy planes had high-tech video cameras with powerful lenses that could zoom in on people and places. Documents show he was followed going to the mail, visiting his sister, the beach, and work. But al-Zawahiri's next stop will be at a federal prison, where he will likely spend nearly 2 decades locked up.
He'll be reporting to probation for the rest of his life, so that when he is out of prison, we'll be assured that he's not going to be committing any acts of terrorism.
The judge called al-Zawahiri a danger to the United States and its citizens, and we should be protected from him for life.
All right. I got some issues with this because they got a digital thing on him. They say they stopped him. Now they claim they can't stop no other man shooting you ever. They just have to stop this dude. Come on, man. Come on, man. Sup, man. Hey, man. Hey, Frank, Chak, y'all believe this nonsense, man? What do you think, man? You think this is another side, man? Come on, man.
I mean, they talking about the text message. I mean, if you have a social media, how come you didn't shut down the social media a long time ago, bro? Why didn't you got people's social media and then putting it, posting that on there? You okay? You know what I'm saying? That shit should have been shut down. You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? Look how, for example, you know what I mean? They're talking about, oh, you know what he was planning to do, and you know, carnage and all this, and it's just like. I mean, this is probably a crisis actor. Let's keep it 100 with you. You know what I'm saying? We haven't seen this guy walk and talk. We haven't seen, you know what I'm saying? We just see a picture of the dude. You know, like, it sounds like a crisis actor to me. You know what I mean? And they already got the set. You know what I'm saying? You got to look at it like this. They already have the motive and everything. You know what I'm saying? In the little note, and you know, in the little text messages and the messages, and it's on the website, all that. So it's just like that's the perfect narrative to go with. Oh yeah, he was planning to do this and that. And then you just report on him what he planning to do in the story. It's like, okay, you know what I'm saying? How you let him get that far? You know, like it's crazy. And he planned to do this and that. And it's like, if that's the case, once somebody posts something or whatever on it one time, threatening or something like that, or conspiracy, you know, conspiring to do something like that, it would have been shut down. You wouldn't even be reporting on nothing like that. You would have, and if you do report on it, it'd been the first time. That's it. Why was this dude still like chilling and like, you know what I mean? It's the same old, man. You know what I'm saying? And he happens to be, now they're going back with this narrative, this Middle East narrative now. Now it ain't the white boys going after the Europeans no more. They're going back after the Middle Eastern motherfuckers. They got to switch it up. They got to change it up. They have to change it up. You know, it can't be too obvious. You know, the crisis acting and the scripting, it can't be too obvious. It got to be just perfectly right. What you think about it, BJ? What you think, man?
All right. What do you think about that, Shaq? They just throwing us more clues again. Throwing us more clues. They trying to throw us an offshoot. All right, now I'm about to throw y'all a real offshoot here. This gonna be a doozy right here. Dawson, cover your ears. This is some bull crap right here. Then Frank, you ain't gonna believe this last night, man. Y'all ever heard of that saying that Christ is risen, Jesus is risen? Man, they bring this boy out more than anybody. Here we go again.
Please welcome this year's recipient of the Pat Tillman Award for Service, the training staff of the Buffalo Bills.
Oh my, an emotional night at the ESPYs. Damar Hamlin taking the stage, honoring the heroes presented the Pat Tillman Award for Service to building staff.
The Buffalo Bills safety broke down in tears as he embraced the first responders who jumped into action after he had a cardiac event, of course, on the field back in January. Nate Bresky, the head athletic trainer for the Bills, accepted the award on behalf of his entire team. He thanked the army of specialists on and off the field who jobs that night. He also made a joke in thanks to Hamlin.
Damar, first and foremost, thank you for staying alive, brother. We're not used to having the spotlight on us. Like we We were just doing our job. But the idea of service is definitely something that is ingrained in our profession and that we take great pride in.
Oh, what a moment.
Yeah, and what a moment when you think back to everybody watching
Mm.
that day on the field and just wondering, and they stepped into action and did what they needed to do. Hamlin has been fully cleared to resume football activities and has been on the practice field getting ready for the upcoming season.
All right now. Come on now. Hey, now let me say something about this ESPY award. The writers on strike. They did not have a host last night. So they could be ready to go AI with this thing. That would make me believe that Damar Hamlin is AI too. Or a clone, right? Come on, man. They've been bringing this dude out there too much. Come on, man. The season starts in a half a month. Daggone, Damar Hamlin be playing football again, man. This ain't gonna be playing. He could be ready for week 1. Training camp starting in like a week and a half. Damar Hamlin done been on Strahan show. He done met with Biden at the White House. Blah, 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 everywhere. Dad gonna throw out the picture of the game. What's going on? Hey, man. Thank you, man. Thank you, Rashad Green. I'm like, come on, people. This don't make no sense. Let's just figure this shit out. Come on. Dawes, you don't believe this, do you? Now, you think, Darius, you think it's a clone, too. How about you, Rashad Green? You think it's a clone? You think that's a real Damar Hamlin? I ain't buying this nonsense, man. Come on. Boy, they got it. And then, let's check this out. This was a guy who got caught on a football field. Pat Tillman was a soldier. They gave them the Pat Tillman Award for service to the Buffalo Bills training staff. I don't give a damn. They just doing that job for any medical person. Come on, people. Damn. Don't make a lot of sense, man. It really don't. I mean, but it is. Oh, you ain't buying Jamie Foxx? Now let's talk about that Jamie Foxx thing. If you believe that Jamie Foxx on a boat, come on, people. That ain't look like Jamie Foxx. The movie come out on the 21st. They clone Tyrone. That's the clone right there.
Mm.
They kind of told you.
What a coincidence they made a movie about it.
Now, let me say something. I want to bring this up. I'm not even going to play a video on this. I'm just saying. A lot of things going out there in the economy. UPS is talking about possibly going on strike. So that would cause a major delay, in goods and services. But it's the way they want it, though. Don't be fooled. They want things to be backed up, bottlenecked. That's how they want it. And we just gotta get ready for it. See, they told you this would be the new norm. Yeah. And you know what, Green? Sean Green, I believe they're going. If you believe that Jamie Foxx, you need to jump on that damn submarine or whatever the hell that You know what? They ain't even talking about that submarine no more. I told you that won't have a little distraction for you. Throw you off the ship. Get you, all the cocaine in the White House and all this other nonsense that was going on right. Meanwhile, Biden over there with King Charles over there in Lithuania trying to make Ukraine and part of NATO, man. They got you all over here while they all over there. And you talking about some Kiki Palmer and some other shit, man. Give me a break.
But see, look, okay. The thing with Jamie Foxx, right? Okay, you know what I mean? It's like, I didn't even know, you know what I'm saying, him and Ice Cube they were working on a movie, whatever, and then, and then Ice Cube was like, you know what I'm saying, basically putting it out there, like, he was getting treated a certain way because you know what I mean, his stance on the jab, and he took down. I remember hearing about that too. He turned down that role, the $9 million role
Red
and all
Band
this.
too.
It's just like it's like I mean, it's interesting how, because I remember I was playing on the news. They kept saying, remember about Jamie Foxx? They kept saying unknown, unknown illness or unknown this and that. It's like, see, that right there makes you think, okay, y'all saying unknown because what it really was the jab that what I'm saying made him whatever hospitalized and whatever the case is, and then y'all saying unknown. Are y'all trying to cover that up? It's just like it's just, man. That's one thing about this government, man. And they hit you with all these unanswered questions, man, just to confuse you, keep you stagnated, keep what I mean, keep your mind thinking, man, and wondering, and it's crazy, man. But it's definitely Hollywood weird. I mean, I knew Hollywood weird before, what I'm saying? Ice Cube put it out there. I mean, come on.
That's interesting. What do you think about that, Shaq?
Design stuff? Or you just talking about the technology that they got to keep running on?
The technology more so than anything.
Hold on. When is the election?
2024.
Oh, okay. In November 2024.
Mm-hmm.
That's right around the corner. Here before you know it. Let me see all the tricks in the circus coming out. Let me see all the tricks coming out. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe conspiracy theories, but I think us conspiracy theories are batting 1,000 right now. What you think? Think we batting 1,000? What you think, Frank?
What'd you say?
I said I think the conspiracy theories are batting 1,000 right now.
Oh, we bet. Dude, place your money on black. And this motherfucker, you know what I'm saying? Damn, that's a good one. That's real. And this bad boy.
Well, NAACP. Let's talk about the NAACP then.
It's everything you wish for. Your site traffic is skyrocketing until this happens.
It was a cheer 3 years in the making, but the NAACP's national convention is finally coming to Boston.
When we come to Boston in July, we're going to wake this place up.
For 5 days starting July 26, 5,000 delegates from across the country will meet to discuss issues important to the Black community and to the country as a whole, including voting rights and a pending Supreme Court decision that might soon ban colleges from considering race in admissions.
And we wait with bated breath in hope that they don't pander to an extreme minority group of individuals who want to create an apartheid America.
The head of the local branch of the NAACP acknowledged Boston does have a racist reputation, but said this event could help change that for people who will visit.
This convention does have great potential to really reintroduce Boston to our nation.
It was 1982 when Boston last hosted an NAACP convention. Mayor Wu promised delegates the city has changed since then, and even since the original 2020 dates for this convention.
That Boston had never had a person of color serve as mayor, and now thanks to my sister in service, Kim Janey, who paved the way, we've had two.
This convention is expected to...
That's an Asian broad? Wow.
The mayor of Boston's an Asian, man.
Oh, what? Interesting. I heard they took over, the Chinese and took over Boston. I heard somebody from Boston told me.
Hey, now listen, 6 years ago, that Hillary Clinton speaker, the one in Cincinnati, word on the street, they might bring Hillary Clinton to speak again. Hey,
Man,
man.
the NAACP is not for us, man. You know what I'm saying? I just want to say this right now, right here. They are not
Are they
for
go-
us. You see what I'm saying? They
Hey,
for it. And they talking about issues. Look, they're talking about issues in the so-called black community. Using that word black, or issues in the black community, right? Our issues ain't your issues. You know what I'm saying? What they bring up? What they bring? Voting. Voting is not a so-called black issue. The hell with voting. You shouldn't be voting any motherfucking way. How is that an issue? What else they bring up? Supreme Court. So they basically, you know what they was basically saying? They was basically talking about how they ended affirmative action. Did you peep that? A Supreme Court ruling that could be controversial to not letting people in due to race. Like that's basically what that was. So you see how slick the media is. You see how you got to really point peep. You know what I'm saying? How slick and underhand.
hey,
And you know what the media does? You know what they do when it comes down to us? They do a lot of double standards when it comes down to us, like a mug. But see, aren't these misleaders supposed to be backing us up? Aren't these misleaders supposed to be speaking for us? Aren't these misleaders supposed to be getting
all
on the
right, look,
news?
man. I'm
Right?
about to do something. I don't. Hey, look, Frank. I'm about to do something. I don't like playing clowns on the regular, right? I really don't like to play the clown show, but I got to play the clown show. Can I play the clown show for a minute?
Word.
Let me play the clown show. Called the Breakfast Club. And I'm going to call them the Goof Troop Club now.
I can't
After
stand
this.
that shit.
So I can pick any new Google Pixel and get a deal?
No,
Yeah,
they got kinda
AT&T's
handy
best
to
deal
it.
on every Google Pixel. No catch. And a choice of plans?
They got
Nice.
hands on the other. Breakfast Club.
Oh, have you tried that one?
Wake that ass up early in the morning. The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Charlemagne the Guy. We are the club. Teslin Figaro is with us this morning.
I can't wait to see you attempt this name.
And we got a special guest in the building, Vivek Ramaswamy. Did I say it right?
That's actually pretty good. It's better than most
Pretty
hosts. Yeah, it's like Ramaswamy, like CD-ROM,
Ramaswamy.
but yeah.
What I said, Ramaswamy.
Yeah, you got it.
Ramaswamy. Well, good morning.
Good to see you guys.
How you
Good to see
feeling?
you too.
Feeling good, guys.
You're running for a president.
I am.
Running for president. You're actually polling third behind Trump and DeSantis right now. The Fox poll shows
A distant third.
A distant third.
A distant third, yes.
I was about to say the third from second is huge, but what do you think you need to do to close that gap?
I mean, most people in this country do not know who I am. So against that backdrop, the fact that I'm ahead of a vice president and a bunch of U.S. senators and a former U.S. ambassador and governors is honestly ahead of where I expect it to be right now. Our goal was to be in third by the end of the year. And then you have the Iowa caucus, and then you have the New Hampshire primary. And the fact that you go those early states in order makes it possible for an outsider like me to actually do this. And God, you can agree or disagree, but at least that's a vision that's different from a vision of identity grounded on race and gender and sexuality and climate. And so that's a long way of saying, I guess, what I see is deficient in the field, and the entire Republican field, including candidates you mentioned, is they're all running from something. And I'm in this race because I want us to run to something.
What is that something?
A vision of what it means to be American. Okay. Revive the ideals of 1776. Revive the truth, meritocracy, excellence, freedom of speech, rule of law. A radical idea. This is not a Democrat or Republican idea, that the people we elect to run the government ought to at least be the ones who actually run the government. That's not the case today. You want to talk about fixing the system. You want to talk about one of the myths where we fall short of our ideals. We're taught in school that we have three branches of government. They're irrelevant compared to who actually runs the government. It's a fourth branch of government of three-letter agencies in Washington, D.C. That formula for corruption. Corruption get. That's a system we need to break down.
Who those three?
I mean, you could go down the list. SEC, FDA, EPA, TSA. The thousands, the tens of thousands of government bureaucrats working in Washington who actually make laws. It's not Congress. And that's a formula. And those people aren't elected. Nobody elected them. They're protected by these what are called civil service protections, which means even the president, technically, under many people's belief, can't fire them. That's the right called the D state. I think that's a problem. I think that falls short of our ideals. I think the same FBI that threatened Martin Luther King with suicide on the back of incorrectly collected tapes now, hypocrisy actions against people of a different political persuasion that the guy doesn't like today. I think it's only for corruption when you have unelected bureaucrats that are actually setting policy. But that's a detail compared to my point, which is we need to revive the ideals that the nation was actually founded on. Do a better job of it for them.
And we have Teslin Figueroa. Teslin has some questions. Tez, you good?
Yes, I do. I a lot of you think and your vision, and I'm a very practical person, and I want to kind of oppose to talking about. Let's talk about you for a moment, and let's see. Explain to me your position on the civic duty voting.
Sure. So my position is, I think that every kid who graduates from high school should know the minimums about the country that we require an immigrant to know about the country in order to become a citizen. So there's a test. My mom had to pass it. Every immigrant has to pass it to this country that asks you some basic questions. What are the three branches of government? What branch of government does the U.S. president lead? Some basic questions about what is the Bill of Rights. It's like a multiple choice exam, or some of them you write in. I think that if we're going to ask immigrants to pass that test, as we should, I think every 18-year-old who graduates high school should have that as well. Because these people, it goes back to, you don't value a country that you don't know something about. You don't value something you inherit. You value something you have a stake in creating, in building, or knowing something about. You think big about this. Well, young people, as I told you, most of them, very few of them vote as it stands today. Super small numbers. And apparently 60% of them say they would rather give up their right to vote, give up TikTok. Well, all right, take that next level. How about we do something that raises the voting age from 18 to 25, but you still get to vote at 18. If you just pass that same civics test that an immigrant has to pass in order to vote. And tests aren't for everybody, so be it. Then you at least serve in the military or a first responder role for 6 months. That's my civic duty voting proposal. And the reason is, I'll actually make a prediction. I think youth voting in this country will skyrocket. After, from a very low level right now, it will skyrocket because you value something you actually have to earn. And I think that this is not a left-wing or right-wing point. We all have duties as citizens, right? You know, we aspire to free market capitalism, right? Materialist advance. And that's the life I've lived as well, by the way. My parents came to this country with not a lot of money. I've lived the American dream. I've made a lot of money by building businesses. That's one side of what it means to be an American. It is we also have duties to this country. And I think the more we wake that up, actually, the voting age only became 18 in 1971 in the context of the Vietnam draft. So I just think reviving those ideas is going to be good for us.
A lot. So let's prove your point. Nick, our camera guy, do you know the three branches of the federal government?
Over 24, so it don't matter.
But I'm just saying, but nobody knows they're 24. Red, do you know the three branches?
Executive.
Well, I got a test. I would like to see if you're willing to pass, because I believe in, just as you believe in civic engagement, I believe in changing the ideas of what political opponents look like, what they should look like, or political candidates. Are you willing to take a test with me quickly? Because I just have a couple of questions for you.
I will, absolutely.
So
and the way this is opening up, I have a feeling I'm about to fail it, but that's good. Let's do it.
That's right. Yeah. Just for clarity, I am independent. I'm not a Democrat or a Republican. Cool. I think that's important for the premise of the argument, because I know we did a lot of debate. It's also want to make it clear the same questions that I asked liberal Democrat Marianne Wilson. Sure that we put that out. So just to kind of set foundation for the go. So you mentioned, the pride of being an American and how important to have pride in this country. I'm also a veteran, by the way, for the United States Air Force. So when is it that you voted for the first time?
I voted in 2020.
Okay, so you're how old again?
I'm 37 years old.
So for how many years you sat around and did not get involved at all in any civic engagement? Is that my understanding?
A long time is the answer. And actually, that's what I wrote this book about. I'm not holding myself out as some sort of model. I'm actually offering myself as a self-reflection of my journey citizen to whom has given much, right? As an adult, it changes your perspectives. I'm very about that. Absolutely.
Okay, no problem. So let's go deeper into the reflection. So you've sat around for, and sir, I'm being as respectful as I possibly can. Please don't take anything
and you don't even have to be. And you don't even have to be. So take it off and let's go.
So you've been sitting around in the country that my ancestors built for about years. Your parents came over as immigrants, you made millions according to your may also this country involved in civic voting. And two, let me just ask, because I know you mentioned earlier you don't want to sit around at the debate and talk about accomplishments. Let's make the accomplishments pretty simple. In high school, were you ever a class president or take any leadership role? Because your opponent did, Chris Christie, he was the class president. So
Yeah,
have you ever taken any leadership at all on anything, or just?
Can I just correct a couple factual things
Sure.
that are kind of important? My parents didn't bring me over to the country. I was
Okay,
born in
scratch
this
that off
country, and
then.
I'm proud
No,
of that.
no, I know you were born here in Ohio.
Yeah.
Ohio.
You mentioned my
I'm
parents
saying your
brought me
parents
o-
were immigrants.
You said-
My apologies.
and that's all right. You said your parents brought you over to this country. I
Yeah,
thought I
my
would set that.
apologies.
All right. Let me break this. No. I'm getting back to it. I just want to ask some questions here. I'm gonna play about 5 more minutes of it. Y'all can watch the rest of it. But
now hold on, where is family from?
well, he said he's born in Ohio. His parents did come over, but
No. Where did he ever mention where his friends from? What do he look like? White guy?
no, he kind of like Indian guy. But he was on there with Charlemagne and them, right? And the girl, she claims she independent, Tesla Figueroa. But my thing is, she didn't have her story straight. She asked about high school and all this other crazy mess. She's talking about, were you ever a class president? Your Chris Christie and all that. How much civic engagement did you have? He's like, I'm running for president. She trying to say that you ain't had no civic engagement.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I think that's valid because we put a lot of these people run on these ballots and shit, and these motherfuckers ain't got no. They really have no really. This guy they make $billions in this country and shit. They think they have a say so in this country and shit. They just come in and just step over us, and we be trying to get in those positions. The Foundation American Aboriginals of this country and shit. So yeah, they can come in. These foreigners come in. First generation motherfuckers, second generation tellers come in, make their way up the ladder.
Oh, his parents are Hindu.
And he ain't thought about motherfucker being no leader. I think that was a great point. Now I didn't see the rest of the interview.
He's Cincinnati. He was born in Cincinnati, Ohio.
Huh?
He was born in Cincinnati, Ohio.
Okay. Well, if you run for the president of the United States, like I said, what is his criteria? I don't know who he is. Who is he? This is his first time trying to run.
Yeah, it's his first time trying to run. He's big in the pharmaceutical industry.
Oh hell no.
But he running as a Republican. He third behind Trump and
how the hell he third behind Trump? Don't nobody know about this motherfucker. Do my language.
he ain't getting them but like 5-6% of the vote, dude.
But see what I'm saying is, I don't know this guy. I had to do research on him, but I think she should agree with him. I didn't see the rest of the interview, but I may have to go watch it and see. But I mean, I would ask those questions like, okay, well, you've been in this country, blah blah blah. Okay, well, have you ever had any leadership civil skills? I mean, what is it that you think that you could do in the president's position that any other previous presidents?
Now he did not. He didn't agree. Now he didn't. He did come out at the end of the interview and talk about affirmative action. He said that daggone. He did say that affirmative action has benefited immigrants more than
You're damn right, but he was a affirmative action baby.
Yeah, he brought it up. He brought it up. He did say that. So I mean,
affirmative action. Not the civil rights movement, affirmative action. A lot of these people live in this country freely to do what they do.
Yeah, I would say this about her. She just didn't have a lot of her facts straight as far as saying that he didn't have his facts straight as far as like, well, she didn't have her facts straight as far as like, she was saying that your parents brought you over, but he was born in Cincinnati, Ohio. And then she said, my apologies. And she had
she apologized.
Yeah, she did. I mean, it's a long interview. I'm not gonna do the whole thing. But it showed that really, to tell you the truth, they got ahead of themselves. He was more composed than them. And she tried to cut him off a couple times. He tried to get some points out. Now, I agree with some of the things he said though. Like, I agree that about civic engagement. I do agree that even with us, some of us should not, if we don't know the politics of a country, things like that. It's been stated out there, and I can lean more to that side on this one, that everybody should not be voting if you don't know what you're voting for. Like in DC, you got a mayor that's trying to put a crime bill out right now, and people don't even know about it.
But hold on, go back. He just voted in 2020, and now he gonna put himself on the ballot to be run for the president. Like she said, he never voted to participate in any civil duties in this goddamn country. Then all of a sudden you vote in motherfucking 2020.
Hey, he admitted it.
He just got some money, that's all. He figured he got money, so you know what I mean, he could just, you know. But see, in a way though, that is kind of, because this is a corporation.
You got the money. You can put your head in the race. But see, it was a problem, and this is why I gotta blame black folks too. Because this is the problem. When Kanye threw his hat in there, anybody else threw their hat in there. Herman Cain. Anybody, we don't even give him a chance. We don't even try to back him and give him a chance. We shoot him down before they shoot him down. We know they're gonna shoot him down. We know they're gonna blast and shoot him down. We don't even give our own black motherfuckers that's an aboriginal or damn near aboriginal to this country that they trying to get in these big races and shit. We shoot them down before they even get a chance.
Well, let me play you about 5 more minutes of what they're doing, because they're going to be a little bit back and forth here.
Okay, yeah. I mean, but I think it's good though, because if we're gonna get in a political race, we're gonna have to be able to argue these points, and it's gonna be some aggressive talking. You know, that's what.
Yeah, it's all good.
That's what politics is.
All right,
let's go. Let's go.
I mean, they were immigrants, but let's not go down the water hole.
No, we're not going to water. I just want to correct a couple facts, and then the other thing is,
you were born here in Ohio.
I was born in Cincinnati, Ohio. That's right.
Right. So you've been here your entire life. So the question is, did you take any leadership role in middle school, high school, class president?
I did.
I know you played tennis. What is it? Explain it to us.
Student council. But you know, I think that this is yes, I've held leadership roles over my life, but those don't qualify me to do what I'm doing now.
Yeah, it kind of does. Okay, well, it kind of does. Well, I'm giving the test. I'm the test administrator.
All right, there you go.
So it kind of does, because when you go from saying I want to go to the highest office,
and I'll tell you, I've led companies as well. Is the other leader?
Right,
the main leadership role I've played is and I want to talk about one early part of your premise that I also want to say, bring into the country point. The other point, you use the word sitting around. You know, I'm not somebody who's saying I want the next generation, my kids' generation, to have more civic duties when they graduate from high school and college than I did when I did. That being said, I wasn't sitting around. I've developed medicines, 5 of which are FDA-approved products today, one of which is a life-saving therapy in kids, 20 of whom die by the age of 3 if they're not treated, 70% of whom now live lives of a normal duration. Another one for prostate cancer. So I don't apologize for making contributions. But
well, I don't want you to filibuster that.
No worries.
Because that's not the question that I asked. And I don't consider, as a veteran, I'm talking about service. I'm not talking about what you did for profit. I'm not talking about what you paid people to do with your company.
So I've not served the country
because that means nothing to me.
You do
what I'm
realize
talking,
she
what
hasn't
I
been
am
able to ask a question. She's been trying to ask a question, and you've been talking over it.
I'm all ears.
We gave you the platform to let you say.
I'm all ears. I'm all ears. No, I was just correcting a couple facts.
She hasn't had a chance to
That's
ask
all.
a question yet. Every time she tries to ask a question, you've been cutting her off. Good.
I'm all ears.
Right. So your question. So my question again is: you're trying to your goal is to raise the standard, and you're saying you want people to believe in country, and you want people to have civic engagement. And sir, I just find it very telling that you haven't had any civic engagement at all, and haven't been at all. And when I say sit around, I don't mean you haven't done anything. I'm talking about in regards to service, because one thing about political office, the same way that you want to change how people look at politics and look at this country, I want to change how people look at politicians. And when I see that someone hasn't did anything at all to be of service to mankind, to take a leadership role. It's not good enough to just be on city student council. Were you a leader? All of that applies. Have you been able to get anybody in the room at any time, from a high school gymnasium to Ohio, Republican leadership there to now? Have you been able to get anybody in a room to believe in this vision? I don't agree with a lot of your vision statement, but I do know you've been going around having these discussions and getting everybody emotionally worked up to talk about vision and debate. But I want to get to the practical. You're trying to go from preschool to president of the United States. You're skipping over city council, county council, mayor, governor. You want to go straight to the top. So my question is this a PR? Is this for the PR, the perception of reality, or can you point to any leadership where you've been able to get people to believe in what you're talking about that they're not paid to do on any of these vision statements that you have? If not, then to me it's a moot point, because you're holding a standard that you haven't met yourself.
So if you're only going to count government service, you're absolutely
no, not government
right.
service.
Okay.
Student council in the 8th grade, 9th grade, 10th. Were you a leader? Did you do anything to rally anybody? Did you fight for better lunch? I did in the 6th grade with Miss Harris.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about government. I can go all the way back from the 5th grade every year, sir, because people who are in service to this country, if you're going to go around saying you want people to believe in this country that I signed up to die for, then I want to make sure that you're holding that same standard. So not government, not political. Let's not get it confused. Yeah. I'm saying, have you did anything of service that we can point to say he is a good leader? Like Chris, and I'm not even a fan of Chris Christie, but he was the student council president in high school. So have you done anything of service besides yourself that has not benefited yourself? It's just a simple question.
So the acts of service that I have performed are small, so
If she campaigned with Chris or something, man, she keep bringing his name. Hey, check this out, though, man. Look. She talking about daggone, she led something in the lunchroom in 6th grade. Come on, man. Saying about can't fight for better lunch. Okay, whatever, fine. That's what you want.
But you know what? Okay, now I agree with them. I agree with them grilling them. You know what I'm saying? And certain things she's saying, I agree with. You see what I'm saying? But I do notice. You know what I peeped? I'm gonna break it down. I already got to break it down how it is. I got to tell how it is, right? Look, so check this out. This dude is a Republican candidate. Am I right or wrong?
Yeah.
Breakfast Club is always pro-democratic, pro-liberal. Let's just keep it 100. That's why they grill him like that. You know what I'm saying? If he was a Democrat, they'd be loving him, like McDonald's in this motherfucker. So check this out. Look. You didn't peep that? Am I right or wrong?
But she claims she's independent, though. She claims she's independent, though. But you can tell that's the bull.
But see, you know what I'm saying? You on the Breakfast Club, you kind of like took over Angela Yee's spot, kind of like. So Breakfast Club is liberal. They're pro-gay, LGBT, all that. You know what I'm saying? They're pro-voting Democrat, all that ridiculous foolishness. So, you know what I'm saying? Therefore, you see what I'm saying? I think that's another reason why they're grilling him like that. But I agree, though. You know what I'm saying? He does sound like he's just trying to buy his way. You know what I'm saying? He's definitely a Johnny come lately. And see, she should be asking what not what he would do for, you know what I'm saying, rather what would you think should be done for so-called black people in America? You know what I'm saying? Or what kind of injustice, if something, you know what I'm saying, to pertaining to us in some kind of value. Okay, ask him reparations questions, right? See, and to really see what he say, you know what I'm saying? But see, the thing is, they could be dark. Well, some of them are dark like us. They could be dark, whatever the cases have so-called melanin or whatever this case is. That don't mean nothing. See, that's why I don't be connecting myself to Africa. I don't be doing all that. I don't be connecting myself to other atmospheres and continents and all that, because guess what? All skin folks is not kinfolk. You know what I'm saying? These people have a caste system in their country to where, and guess who's a Brahmin Indian, one of the highest on the caste system? Kamala Harris, right? So check this out. You see what I'm saying? They got a caste system, right? And they got something called the untouchables, to where
he's a Hindu too. He's a Hindu too.
That's what I'm saying. These people don't, you know what I'm saying? Come on, Gandhi didn't like us, right? Gandhi didn't like us at all.
All right.
Say it again.
Would
you say, Chak?
I said he would be considered up one of the Asians. His race nationality would be an Asian. Well, no, he was born here, but his family came from India, so they still come from that Asian lineage, so like a Asian country. They would say he was born in America, though.
Let me let him go on for like 3 more minutes. You get in it, but she keep on bringing up Chris Christie. Like, why you keep on bringing Chris Christie for? Dang, on you.
Yes. She got to slow down. I will slow down and ask him real quick and let him answer it then.
All right, let me let him go on.
They're so anxious to grill him, though.
Small that I don't even want to talk about them to boast. But yes, have I volunteered for this country? Yes, I have. I've always been interested in healthcare.
It's okay to talk about the small things.
These are small things, right? But thank you.
Let's just mention it.
Bethesda North Hospital.
So it's really a no?
No, it's not a no. It's just something I don't like boasting about. I
well,
volunteer.
we're not boasting. It's an interview. You're boasting on your vision and everything else.
I think
boasted on the millions of dollars that you made. So let's just throw it out. So in sixth grade, I'll give you an example. I'll help you out. In sixth grade, Miss Harris, Miss Harris was let me give you an example because maybe you're confused. In the sixth grade, Miss Harris was snatching papers from everybody in the classroom. So me as a 10-year-old, I went to the principal and said, I'm tired of Miss Harris snatching papers. And I organized the students around getting Miss Harris to stop snatching papers. Now, there was a consequence for that. I got suspended for 5 days for talking back, and I got in trouble. I got a spanking, and I was on punishment for months and months. But that is a simple way of organizing people. So I want you to kind of boast about it the way you did the millions of dollars and said what you did with the pharmaceutical companies. What leadership can you point to that you've been able to rally anybody around anything that is of service that you did?
Say it again, Shaq. I couldn't hear you. What'd you say?
I said she said the drug because he's a drug now. I'll never drug dealer shit.
Man. But this is my thing. Man, that stuff she talking about the sixth grade made me almost dry. I said, come on, woman, daggone, come on.
The sixth grade?
If you want to use that, that's fine, but come on, man. Anybody, hey, look, man. Let's go back to sixth grade and remember what the hell we did in sixth grade. Come on, man. Did y'all have a food fight or something? Get the fuck out of here. All right, look. Let me finish.
Did not pay anybody to do. I think that's important for the next president of the United States.
Sure. So I've always been drawn to healthcare. That's why I ended up founding companies in that space. When I was in high school, part of what drew me into it was that I was a volunteer at a local hospital. I actually became the leader of that group of volunteers that actually discharged women who had recently given birth. That was it. Nothing big to it.
Did you do anything we can point to stand out?
But I want to say something about that because I say that in the book. If I'm being really honest, why did I do that in high school? A part of the motivation, I'll be just brutally honest with you, was part of the motivation was that's actually what allows you to get into a good college when you graduate. Is you want to check the box.
So it was about you.
So there was an element. So there's that, and I'm admitting that in a way that very few other people do. But I got to be honest about it. That was a big part of why I did it.
Yeah, it was about self, and I'm going to be honest, and I'm going to give it back to the guys. I'm going to be honest about it with you.
Yep.
Leadership is not about self.
I agree with you on that. What I
just heard is that everything is about you. And to be honest with you, this is just a PR campaign, sir. To be honest with you, and I think you're trying to go further to the right because you want the Republicans to accept you as a man of color. And I think the only way you think you can do that is to be so extreme.
I appreciate your opinion
with your positions, and I think you need to do a little bit more work in service. I'll give it back to you guys.
Let me ask, because she did ask me a question, and then you guys said you wanted to hear a response, but I think I heard an expression of opinion. So just I want to make sure you're all done before I respond to it.
No, just wanting to say that even then, I would still want you to point out, even at the hospital, something that you did that made you stand out on when actually taking a leadership role. But you already answered it. You said you did it because it was a motivation to get in college.
Exactly.
Which means
it
was
about
you.
Very honest about that. But
everything has been about you. So as a veteran,
let me tell you something. I appreciate
it's very hard for me to follow leaders that make everything about them. So you might want to work on that because it's a lot of veterans and Republicans. So you might want to work on that talking point and maybe do some volunteering while you're on the campaign trail. I'm going to give it back to Charlemagne and Envy.
Yeah. Once I want to be respectful. Want to make sure you got everything you wanted to on the table before I respond.
If this was just us, it would be a lot more.
You guys tell me. I'm the guest on your show. You tell me when I'm good to speak.
Hey, well, I mean, like you got to be able to think quick on your feet.
Oh no, he quick on his feet. Oh yeah, he about to come back to the whole time for a minute.
Go ahead.
You sure? You sure about that? If we're good.
Yeah, we're sure.
So I think there's a different worldview that we have. And I think the worldview is how one actually makes contributions in a country. I do not believe that there's a separate category of just if you're serving the country and then if you're acting in self-interest, that's somehow sinful or wrong. I reject that vision. To the contrary, I think capitalism is the best system known to man to lift people up from poverty. I deeply respect and I thank you for your service to this country. I'm grateful for it. I haven't served the country in the way that you have. But I think that the way you get ahead in capitalism, how did I develop a multi-billion-dollar biotech company? It was by developing medicines that save people's lives.
A lot of people say capitalism causes poverty.
Yeah, I disagree with that.
Okay.
I disagree with that. I think that capitalism demands that you provide something to someone that helps them more than you're actually charging them for it. That's the only way.
That's a business model, sir. That's not
a business model. It's not. I'm not saying
that's not service.
I'm saying it's having an impact on society.
What's the name? What is that? On their ignorance. I said capitalism. You capitalize on somebody's ignorance. It's about greed. It ain't about no economy for the people. It's about building an economy for you. It's selfish. It's actually selfish. We already had a border trade system. The country was well. It was already barter and trade. So the capitalism did create poverty. You're right. Charlemagne was right with that. Capitalism creates poverty at the end of the day.
Well, I just wanted to play that for you. It's a 42-minute interview, but there was a lot of points made. But my thing I got out of her, she came off they was going back and forth. She talking about Chris Christie and then she talking about all this. Basically, and then Charlemagne and them, they let him talk, but then they, it kind of like this interview reminded me of the same way when Anderson King came up there, except they didn't talk about a lot of trans stuff and all this stuff at the time. But it was kind of like when Anderson King came on there about 3 years ago. Yeah. When they get a Republican candidate to come on there, that's why I say when she said she was an independent, to me, she lost all credibility because the way she be caping, it's like, yo. And
but see, didn't I just say right now? Didn't they just say did she just bring up his party right now?
Chris Christie, Republican, man.
Did she just say no? Didn't she just bring up his party right now? She just said that he's a Republican.
But she using him. She using him for collateral damage.
That was all about. What? Say it again.
What?
I told you that was what I was all about. What this ambush was all about. Him being a Republican. She just like low-key said it. See, that's what I'm talking about.
You know what I'm saying? Chris Christie, right? You're trying to use Chris Christie. Chris Christie but he's a Republican, but he talks about Trump. See, she will use that. See, she can use that. She ain't gonna bring up you see, she didn't bring up Ron DeSantis or nobody like that. She brought up Chris Christie.
Well, yeah, they definitely they do lean more to the left. They be more lenient and goofy and shit when the liberals and the Democrats come on there. They don't grill them like they grill Republicans.
Look at the sign in the background. They say love is love. The rainbow sign is in the background. Say love is love.
You already see what's going on with that one, man.
For real like that. So when they come on, they trying to grill them, trying to get squeeze all the orange juice out of them. But they don't do the same thing for these liberal candidates like that, man. Democrats, especially the seasoned ones, the ones that's been in the game for a long time. Hell no.
All right.
They treat them like they in the playground passing candy canes around and shit.
I got one more thing, Chak. You ready? Y'all ready? I'm getting back to it. I'm getting back to daggone my man. Daggone, well, not my man. Actually, a clown show, but I gotta play him anyway because they said anti-Semitism is on the rise again. I said, here we go again with this nonsense. Matter of fact, Kyrie Irving just signed a new shoe deal with Anthem, man, so he's doing pretty well, you know what I'm saying? I mean, it is what it is. But I got to play the clown shit one more time.
The trial is underway for the gunman who opened fire during morning services at the Tree of Life Synagogue in Pittsburgh in October of 2018, murdering 11 worshipers there.
11.
It is the deadliest anti-Semitic attack, and federal prosecutors are seeking the death penalty against the gunman. 50-year-old Robert Bowers is charged with 63 crimes, including 11 counts of hate crimes resulting in death. He has pled not guilty. Among those killed, a 97-year-old great-grandmother, 2 brothers, a couple who had gotten married at Tree of Life more than 60 years ago. Joining me now is Pittsburgh City Council member Erica Strasburger, whose district includes the synagogue. She went to the scene directly after the attack. Also with us is former U.S. Attorney Barbara McQuaid and Anti-Defamation League CEO and National Director Jonathan Greenblatt. I remember being there literally just hours after that awful massacre took place, Erica, and I'm curious to know how you and how that community is doing now, about 5 years removed from that awful attack.
Thank you for asking, and thank you for saying that. I would say that Squirrel Hill is a resilient community, and Pittsburgh certainly is a resilient city. And everyone is handling this in a different way. I can't group anyone together. I think all we can do at this point is support the survivors, support the family of the victims and those closest to the attack as best as we can. That's my main goal right now, is to offer support in any way that I can, because this is a moment that can be re-traumatizing for a lot of people who are closest to the attack. Everyone's going to be handling it in a different way. I can tell you that the building itself will likely be breaking ground for a renovation this year and turned into a community center, in addition to a synagogue, and have a sort of exhibit. So there's a lot of good that is moving forward and it's coming out of this, but certainly this is a very sobering day and a sobering time for Squirrel Hill and everyone impacted by this terrible event.
Yeah, no doubt. It became personal for me when a college classmate of mine posted a photograph of her only a matter of days after that. It was her synagogue with pictures of her bat mitzvah taking place there. Barb, I want to ask you about this case specifically. Prosecutors are seeking the death penalty here. The lawyers for the defendant have offered to resolve the case with a guilty plea on all accounts in exchange for life in prison without the possibility of release. But federal prosecutors, they have rejected that. What do we expect today?
Well, instead, they're going forth with the trial. And at issue is not whether this defendant committed this act, whether there was a massacre, but the intent. The prosecutors have charged that this was a hate crime and that it was motivated by an intent to obstruct the free exercise of religion. And instead, Bowers and his legal team are saying it wasn't that they opposed the Jewish community, but they opposed immigration in general. So it's a little bit of a hair splitting, but that's the issue at trial here today. I think that this jury has in store for them, though, some very powerful and gruesome and overwhelming evidence of the killing that occurred. And I think in light of the text messages and the fact that this was done during a worship service, the Justice Department has a very strong case.
Jonathan, I want to ask you about this. The shooting of the Tree Life Synagogue, it is the deadliest attack, as we've noted, against Jews in this country's history. But it's not alone. Anti-Semitism is still on the rise. The latest figure, I think, is something like 36% up just last year. Your group obviously has been tracking this. This threat is not over. So how do you stop it?
Well, there are a few things to think about as you just pull back the lens. Like you said, Peter, anti-Semitic incidents are indisputably up. Last year was the third time in the last 5 years we've hit a new all-time high. And the total today is more than 500% greater than it was just a decade ago. So something is definitely wrong. So at ADL, we think, number one, you have to make sure we protect communities. And this case really matters to deter other extremists and would-be attackers to demonstrating that this kind of crime will not be taken lightly and that will throw the full force of the law against this individual who committed the shooting in Pittsburgh. And then secondly, I think we need government to play a role. And it's very important what the White House did last week with their national strategy to combat anti-Semitism. We need a whole of society plan to stop this, Peter. This is a step in that direction. And in the long term, I think education is crucial. Teaching kids at a young age about hate, about anti-Semitism, about racism, conditioning them to realize that prejudice isn't okay no matter who it's directed against.
And you're right, Jonathan, it has to be a conversation not just by the Jewish community about the Jewish community, but by all communities about all communities, right? Because Jews, unfortunately, are not alone in the hate that they're experiencing right now. Erica, I want to ask you, because there has notably been a mixed reaction among the community there about whether this gunman should receive the death penalty. The rabbi of New Light and members of Dor Hadash have publicly urged the government not to seek the death penalty. But family members of 9 of the 11 victims wrote in a letter to the Pittsburgh Jewish Chronicle last year that accepting a plea from Robert Bowers would be, quote, letting him have the easy way out. This still haunts so many in that community. And though Jewish courts rarely impose the death penalty, there's obviously a real sense here from that community that it should be imposed.
Certainly, and I don't expect, as I mentioned before, any one community to share the exact same position on something so serious as the death penalty. I'm certainly not surprised that there's a mixed reaction, even those who are closest to this attack and closest to those who were impacted and killed and the victims. And ultimately it's up to the justice system and those who are serving as jurors to make this decision here. So we'll see what happens, but I certainly believe it's up to everybody's it's everyone's own prerogative to have their own opinion about where this should go.
Yeah. Erica Strauss.
Anti-Semitism on the rise, Chak. What do you think, man?
Is it?
Up 500%.
Is it?
That's what they say.
500% up.
Yeah. That's
Are they
why
counting?
you heard him thank the White House for having a national strategy on anti-Semitism. He also said it the third time in the last 5 years. They had that number 3 again, Frank. That number 3, he said it. He said it. That's what Greenblatt said. Third time last night. You heard what he said. 9/11 family member. What is
9/11?
9 of the 11 family members. He kind of told you. 9/11. He did tell you.
It's an emergency.
They're throwing all types of clues out there at you.
And see, the thing is, look. Are these people counting? You know, so do they got like a buzzer or something like that? A little, you know, something they can press every time. You know, what I'm saying a anti-Semitic attack is going on. Like, come on. See, but see, honestly though, you know what's sad? I'm gonna tell you what's sad about.
Defamation League.
I'm gonna tell you what's sad about this. There's a lot of people that look like us. There's a lot of grown ass adults that actually believe this shit. See, that's the thing. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, of course the kids are gonna be like this, man. Look at the adults, man. They fucking assholes.
Do you believe it?
You know what I'm saying? It's like stupid is raising stupid. You know what I'm saying? And see, the thing is, I mean, by now the script is just over and over the same old type of shit. How do you not know by now that this shit is fake?
You already been canceled.
Just like they said a couple weeks ago, what happened? They said 14 cities had mass shootings on one day on 4th of July. If you believe
16.
that,
16.
something wrong with you. Say it again.
16.
16. See, okay, sweet 16, right? So, look, check this out. And it happened to be teens that they said was involved in some of these. See, these people give you hints and they tell on themselves. They tell you that it's a scripted event. So if you honestly, any adult,
they said that mass shootings disrupted 4th of July celebration. You said 16 cities. You know how many damn cities in the United States of America? That ain't even half of the cities in America.
But you mean to tell me all them cities just happen to have a mass shooting going down on the same day? We don't see. But if me and you say that it's orchestrated, they're gonna call you conspiracy theory. They're gonna say that you vote for that you want Trump to win or some weird shit like that. So you know what I'm saying? It just like this guy, man. He's he's an immigrant, and see, this is what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? Let's keep it 100.
I got a question for you.
All right, let me say this real quick. These immigrants, man, they come over here, dude. You know what I'm saying? They complain about how they get treated in their countries. You know what I'm saying? The persecution and all this and communism and all. You know, I don't have no rights. But then they try to treat us the same damn way, man. I don't have no sympathy or empathy for that, dude. I just don't subscribe to any of that bullshit, dude. Like, I can't have sympathy for it. I got sympathy for how my people treat each other. We don't treat each other right. That's what I got sympathy and empathy for. I don't got sympathy and empathy for how another motherfucker feel about me. You know what I'm saying? You could go and look. You could look up Korean racist commercials. You know how many racist commercials Koreans got about black people? Nobody want to say nothing about that, though. These people get taught this shit where they live. They don't get taught this necessarily get taught this shit in America.
All right, Frank. Hold on, Frank.
2 people have been arrested.
Let me play this for you. This ain't number 16 seconds, all right?
On capital murder charges for a deadly shooting in Fort Worth on Monday. 3 people died and 8 others were hurt after gunmen shot into a crowd. Fort Worth's police chief says the shooting was gang related.
Damn, Frank. 3. That number 3 again, Frank. That
number 3.
Which gang?
Which gang? Which gang? Which gang? See, if it was a Crips and Bloods, why did they say it was a Crips and Bloods? Because you know how they like to exploit and put us out there like that. Only the black gangs, though, right? But they got the Asian gangs out here, the Crips and Bloods. You don't never hear about them on the news. See, you see how it's one narrative. That's, you know what I'm saying? Another group, just like, okay, let me bring this up right there too. You see how they wanted the death? Look, you see how they wanted the death penalty for the people that did that to the synagogue, supposedly. You see how they wanted the death penalty? But look, the church didn't the church get a cross get burned on a church not too long ago, the other day? How come, you know what I'm saying? They never asked for the death penalty when something happened to us. It's just double standard type. You know
Now
what
at
I'm
5,
saying?
it happened just.
We don't see it though, man. You know.
All right. Yes. Frank, Chak, what do you think about this stuff? What do you think about all this stuff? This weird
Mass
stuff going on.
shooting?
Number 3 mass shootings in San Antonio. What do you think, Shaq? Kind of trying to scare you again. What is it, Shaq? Trying to scare you again?
Oh man, y'all know what it is, man. Y'all know the play, man. You got to keep the strip, baby.
All right. This is my last one of the. This is my last one of the day, because this is the biggest one I'm gonna say, and then I'm gonna go to bed. But listen, got to bring this up because this is for people in the DC area. You know what? Let me tell you something funny. I gotta call these people down at the toll too, because they sent me a letter about I went through a toll and stuff, but it came from the Maryland Transportation Authority, and I went up there today again. This time, I had to put my card in there because daggone. I said, well, dang, who working in toll? Come to think about it, ain't nobody working in toll. It's a daggone machine, all right? So I was going to ask him again. I went in and paid today, but check this out. I realized that daggone, this came from the Maryland Transportation Authority, but I live in Virginia. So they done connected the toll road from that state, which is 2 hours away, to here. I said, this is some crazy shit. Boy.
Remember though, the toll roads that's owned by China though.
Ain't that something? Well, here go DC. DC Council crime bill passes 12-1. So get ready to lock some people up.
Well, see, how come you don't never hear
Just an hour ago.
You know, from the so-called black leaders, right?
Right on that wave of violence that hit us hard over the holiday weekend, and new calls for action in the district. The planned safety walk turned into a bit of a victory lap for D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser.
Yeah, that's because we saw portions of her proposed crime bill finally introduced as emergency legislation. Now, the bill before the council makes discharging a gun a felony and gives judges the ability to keep repeat offenders behind bars while they're awaiting trial. Ardelia Gonzalez is live in Northeast tonight, a neighborhood there where the mayor just wrapped up her safety walk. And I know many neighbors there want immediate changes. So will this crime bill lead to safer streets right away?
Well, here's a timeline on the crime bill. The council has until Tuesday to pass this bill before they go on summer break. The mayor then has 10 days to sign it into law. And if she does, and if it passes through all of that, then it does go into effect immediately. Councilmember Brooke Pinto, who sponsored this bill, says it's not going to solve all of our problems, but she is confident that it will take measures and chip away at some of the increased crime that we've been seeing this summer. Now, let's talk about what folks in the community want. As you mentioned, they want a whole lot more and they want something immediately. So they say, you know what, we need more police. And we're not talking about just presence, we're talking about engagement. Police officers out of their cruisers, talking to community members, building trust and relationships here. A lot of folks also talked about the curfew, which is already on the books and makes it a violation for anyone under 17 to be outside after midnight without an adult. But let's talk about this crime bill. By far, the most controversial part of that bill allows a judge to detain a young person who's accused of a violent crime while that person is awaiting trial, even if a gun was not used in that crime.
And making sure that we are truly supporting rehabilitation and can set young people up for success after they have been detained is really important. And that work is ongoing. That is not ending today. But what is also important is that we send a clear message to victims that we are taking seriously the trauma that has been inflicted on you.
And I don't want to give anybody the impression that I want any person to go to jail who doesn't deserve it. I also believe, as the councilwoman has said, that every person is presumed innocent until proven guilty and they get a fair trial. I believe all of those things. But if I believe, too, that if you use a gun, everybody knows that you used a gun, the victims, your friends, and you walk out the next day with no consequence whatsoever, we are not going to drive down crime. That's true for juveniles who are acting like adults, and that's true for adults.
A long soundbite from the mayor there, but certainly a very passionate word from the mayor about what she believes this crime bill will do for adults and even the juvenile crime that we're seeing here in the city. Coming up at 6, we'll hear more from community members who want.
Why are they not doing? I mean, they're not doing that in Baltimore, where it's worse, but they're doing it in DC.
All right, now that's big. That's big. Let's coming back to the crime bill. Let's come back to that crime bill. All right, that's coming back to it. What I'm letting you know is they about, and she said juveniles acting like adults too. Remember, 1994 crime bill, they come in right back around the way, getting you one more time. We go, but guess what? We got Joe Biden in the White House, and we gonna sit y'all again. We got you right where we want you.
You know, look. They say, you know, it's saying,
Washington D.C., man.
They're saying that, so you basically,
with a woman mayor, black woman mayor.
So they're saying it makes it okay for them to keep a juvenile detained. You know what I'm saying, for trial. So they basically try to say that they can't get bailed out. That's basically what they're saying. Why don't they just say it? You know what I'm saying? So they're saying there's no bail. That's what it sounds like to me. What about you, DJ? Does it sound like that to you? No bail?
Well, in California,
it sounds like they're basically saying that they don't want the kids can't get no bail.
They try to need a hammer.
But see how I mean, damn, dude, how how's that due process though, man? So and then you know, so basically, you know what I'm saying? That's the whole thing of a pretrial. You know what I'm saying? You go into I mean, it's your every right to, it's your constitutional right to get bailed out. What we gonna say, Shaq? So it's like violating the Constitution. They're violating the Constitution. What does it sound like to y'all?
Hold on, man. I gotta show y'all something, man. We're gonna cover both of them topics. That was only a 3-minute video, so I need to get. Oh wait a minute, where the hell did that video went to? You hear me? Check, Frank, you hear me?
Yeah.
Let me see if I can pull it up. Yeah. Now, what did they? Ain't clean up. Man, fuck. Alright, it's acting crazy. It ain't letting me pull it up. Oh, wait a minute.
On that wave of violence that hit us hard over the holiday weekend and new calls for action.
Let me try it now. Why do you act like this video is so hard to pull up, man? Get the hell out of here. They say it's too graphic to view or some shit. Hey, wait a minute, man. Come on, man. What y'all talking about? Oh, here it is. Maybe I can get this one. Oh, here it is.
The best way to burn fat and get shredded is not keto, paleo. It's not.
Hey, one of these videos said something about some graphic content or something like that. Man, get the hell out of here.
What the hell happened? Was it goat porn or something?
Not vegan. It's definitely not
it's
super.
I know they just being
exercises like this. That ain't.
They're just being, you know.
Hold on. Look this up.
We're following breaking news right now. Horrifying moments across our city. Multiple people are shot and one person is dead after police say a man on a moped scooter went on a shooting spree spanning 2 boroughs. Thank you for joining us. I'm Arthur Sheehan. A suspect is now in custody, and police are saying the shootings appear to be random. Let's get right out to Christine Russo live in Richmond Hill, Queens, with the latest on this. Christine.
Queens.
Arthur, police say they arrested a 25-year-old man who they say just went on a random shooting spree this morning along Jamaica Avenue. They say he was riding an illegal moped. He shot 4 people and killed an 87-year-old man. Surveillance video captures the moment a person riding a moped makes a U-turn on Jamaica Avenue and 109th Street and appears to target a person walking in the opposite direction before shooting. The disturbing moments happened around 11:30 a.m. and spanned several blocks near Jamaica Avenue in Richmond Hill. Police say there were 5 separate scenes and the shootings appeared to be random.
I immediately held an emergency conference call with all of our top executives, including Chief of Department, Chief of Patrol, and Detective Bureau. Armed with an image of the suspect, our officers fanned out across Queens, focusing on the main thoroughfares. Shortly after 1 p.m., officers from the 103 and 113 precinct spotted the shooter on his scooter and took him into custody without incident near 94th Street, confines of the 103 precinct.
The glass window of a beauty store near one of the shootings was completely shattered. One man working across the street at a supermarket said he saw one of the victims fall to the ground. I only heard 3 shots, just that, and then suddenly I saw an older man on the floor. Jamaica Avenue is a popular and busy street for businesses and pedestrians. Store owner Jasveer Singh has had a cell phone business here for nearly 15 years. He says things have never been this bad.
It's very scary, that's all I can say. I mean, even there's nothing I can do, probably, you know.
Late into the afternoon, it was still a very active scene. NYPD counterterrorism was blocking off several streets to traffic. Many people we spoke to say they feel violence in their neighborhood has escalated recently with the opening of cannabis stores. You have to have your eyes well open, looking at all sides, because at any minute you could be hit by a stray bullet. The investigation is...
Man, they had him say that. That was so scripted. That was scripted. Hey, look, check this out. Look, I'm from New York. Look, come on. I'm from Queens, right? Look, come on. Let's keep it 100, man. Let's not even go there, man. Look, I'm from Queens. I'm from a different part of Queens, but my family's from Jamaica, Queens, right? I've been to Jamaica Ave so many times. I love Jamaica Ave, right? That's that spot. But check this out. In that video, I just seen this dude. I seen him do the U-turn. I didn't see nobody hit. I didn't see nobody hit the floor. I didn't see no blood. Why was it black and white? Why was the video black and white? You see, it's 2023 and we got grainy black and white videos from like 1994. You know what I'm saying? Like, you see how that works? You see when they provide proof, it's shitty. You know, there's no evidence. I didn't see nobody, I didn't see no shooting. I didn't see nobody run. I didn't see nobody hit the floor. And you talking about, oh, you see how they bring up the weed shops? Oh, it's been so violent since weed's been legal for years in New York. You see that? They're full of shit. You see what I'm saying? And they had some damn foreigners. You notice how they interview foreigners. They interview nobody look like us, because in Jamaica Ave is a bunch of black people, bunch of people that look like us in Jamaica Ave, right? They trying to gentrify Jamaica Ave, but Jamaica over there in Queens, in Jamaica Queens, is still a lot of black people, right? A lot of Jamaicans, a lot of us. You feel what I'm saying? So they asked these foreigners, right? It's really interesting how they asked these damn foreigners what was going on. Of course, they're gonna say they look scripted. It looked like they just conversed them. Okay, like say this, say that. You know, dude was speaking another language. He had a mask on.
Why is running around killing an 87-year-old person on a scooter, Frank? What the hell?
And they said it seemed like it's random. No shit. They somehow it seemed like it's random. No shit. If you just shoot them up, people you don't know, of course it's random. Duh. It's just, come on, man. This is ridiculous, man. At this point, man. But see, like I said, there's actual people that believe this shit. Most of the people believe. That's why it's just mind blowing. You know what I'm saying? I can see why we at the state of we in, because a lot of us believe this stupid shit. You know what I'm saying? Guess what? You know, we'll say, oh, we got to pray about it. What the hell does praying got to do with them scripting and making up a scenario and brainwashing us and making us seem like, won't they say that? Oh, we got to go to church. That's something we got to pray on. We got to ask the Lord. What the Lord got to do with any of this? You see it, dude, they got us good, man. They got us real good. We brainwashed, man. An 87-year-old man, though?
Let me see. Go ahead, Shaq. I'm gonna say something about that lower. I'm gonna say something about that lower thing in a minute. Go ahead. Go ahead. Now go ahead, Shaq. Go ahead. Say your point. Say your point about this guy shooting on the scooter.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It could be the drugs. I don't know, man. They put. I don't know, man. It could be the drugs that they pumping, allowing. Now, that's funny that they come up with a crime bill after they just pretty much legalized drugs in all type of levels. That's pretty
Hey man,
strange, huh?
I give you the drugs. I give you the drugs, Shaq, and now lock you up. Problem, reaction, solution. You want the drugs? I give them to you, and they'll lock you up for it. Killing 3 birds in 1 stone, not 2, but 3.
Yeah, because you got to fill up some prison.
He says he came up with some shit for kidney disease or some shit for little children or some shit.
When he said kidney disease, he said he got something he got a medicine that has saved children's lives under 3 that were dying. That's what he said. I don't think he said kidney disease.
But he said something about kidneys or some shit.
I ain't ever seen him.
I guess he said he came up with 3 different inventions or medicines or some shit because he's in the pharmaceutical.
Yeah. We got to go back and look it up. But I ain't hear him saying about kidney.
I'm going to check him out and see, man, because I'm going to do a thing on this.
But nevertheless, let me bring up something that Frank brought up about the Lord thing. You know, I was talking to a guy yesterday, and he was talking about, boy, Shaq, he was talking about Alexander the Great. Same thing Miss Latin talking about, daggone, that Jesus is, he said Jesus is a homosexual. He was saying that the women respect the man in the church, but they don't know the pastor is considered what do you call it? An entity. Not a person, an entity. Do you respect the entity? That's why they send them to seminary school and stuff like that. So he was just talking about all of it. He was talking about, these not the real Jewish people, blah, 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 and all that stuff. He was talking about a whole lot of stuff. He was saying, that, his mom was in church and the pastor sat up there and said, they're not playing. Y'all need to take this jab. So he talked about a whole lot of things. He said, whatever way society goes, that's the way they going. A lot of them. So when you talk about the Lord, you need to be careful, Frank, what you're talking about, because they're going with it. Yes, truth does hurt. It can be a humbling experience for some people. And, on the East Coast, it's July 14th, 2023. Right. Whatever that means, right? So, I had to get my own truth sometime and had to say, you know what? July 14th is always a day of me of intense reflection. Because, people say Happy Mother's Day and all that. My mom died 5 years ago, but if she was living today, she'd be 66 years old. So that's for the truth for me that she's not here, but, it actually sometimes it's worked out for me in favor because she has some things going on medically. So, I just lost a friend a couple weeks ago. So things happen. We don't always understand or understand why they happen, but we have to just keep going on and living because I'm gonna be dead honest with you. I don't know if I want my mom to live through half this crap that's going on. She was stressed enough. I don't know if I want her to live through this stuff. Everybody can't. This life is, getting a little bit more complex for people. So if you ain't seen nothing, you ain't seen nothing yet. It's gonna get worse. All this climate change nonsense. Salute to my friends up there in Chicago, Paul, Marcella, so many people that's going through this, what they call tornadoes. They claim even in Chicago, they claim they're giving out so-called $25,000 in reparations in Evanston, Illinois, or something like that. $25,000 payments to 140 people. There's a lot of stuff going on I could have touched on. I just, I didn't even put up a topic for tonight because there's so much stuff I talk. Usually I, have a topic and 3 topics, and I might bring in some more. But today I just say there's so much stuff going on. I just wanted to bring everything in one time. So that's my mistake on that. But we just had a lot of stuff going on one time. But we did cover a lot of stuff in this 2-hour period. So it is what it is. But I think this was a great show today. And like I said, I'll be on the move again tomorrow. And stuff like that. So y'all take your time. I do want y'all to shout out your information, stuff like that. Thanks for coming on, by the way.
No doubt, man. You know what I'm saying, BJ? Good looking out for letting me come on again. You know what I mean? So, yeah, man, y'all can holler at me, man. Hit me up at Frank Instagram Frank Jones 8115 or XX Frank Nitty XX on Instagram, man. And y'all can find me. Let me see, man. You know what I'm saying? Because they've been tripping on my. But yeah, y'all can find me on XX Frank Nitty XX on YouTube. But they kind of shadow ban me, man. They kind of named my page something else, man. So y'all could just keep searching for me on it. You'll find me, man. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate it, man. And, once again for letting me come back on this bad boy, man.
All right, Shaq, go ahead.
Actually, it's XX Frank Nitty XX and then 2020 70. I don't know what YouTube did. I don't know why they added that number, but appreciate it, y'all. Good looking out, BJ.
All right, Shaq, go ahead. Still there? Shaq.
Yeah, I was on mute. Yeah, man, I'm talking on mute like one. But yeah, man, y'all can go tap in. Shaq _Hill was on Facebook and Instagram. You know what I'm saying? Get at me, man. I'll let me. You know what I'm saying? Jump in the conversation. Like and share this live stream, man, and tap in with us, man. You know what I mean?
All right. And for me, like I said, I'll just be on the move today. Today, because actually it's on the East Coast is July 14th. That's the time zone thing, whatever that is. Maybe I need to do a discussion of the time zone one day, but you can catch me Bernard Johnson Facebook, Bernard 1121 Instagram, and stuff like that. You give me 1987 BJ on Twitter, $1919 BJ Cash App. I don't know if it's gonna come today because one of my cards got hacked, so I don't know. Right? So anybody can come in and you said donation. I don't know. It's almost time for me to make another solar rotation on July 16th. I'll be 36 this time, right? It's kind of like the moment of me, we kind of like intertwined. Like she went to label with me on her birthday, July 14th, 1987. So it's almost like we were intertwined. Actually,
you and your mama got the same birthday?
Who? What?
Huh? You and your mom got the same birthday?
No. She was born July 14th. I was born July 16th. I said she went into labor with me on July 14th.
Yeah, that's dope.
Wow.
Yeah, me and my sister is a day apart.
Yeah. Very interesting dynamic there. And then she had me by what they call cesarean section. And she was having some complications. They had been cesarean section at 9:34 at Chippenham Hospital in Richmond, Virginia on July 16th.
So what was your expected birthday? What birthday did they expect you to be?
Hey, Monique 2C, been a while.
Monique 2C? Goddamn unicorn.
Peace, Monique. What up, peace?
But nevertheless, that's when she had me. She was supposed to be July 4th. I don't know. It might have been July 14th. That's when she went to labor with me. So, but
so Okay, so you're supposed to be
They
like.
said she couldn't.
They normally give you like an estimate, like within like maybe 2 weeks, like the actual day that you be born or some shit like that.
They told her she could, and they told her that she could not have a baby, and somehow I still was born. Ain't that something?
Whoa! They told her she couldn't have a baby.
That's what they said.
Wow.
They said that she had complications from sickle cell trait, and she could not have a baby, or possibly could not have a baby. So she called me. She used to call me a miracle baby. But that's okay. I mean, you know.
So hold on. So where did she get your name from? Who she how she come up with Bernard?
From her dad and her brother.
Junior?
For her dad and her brother.
Oh, dad, brother. Okay.
Mm-hmm. So it's very interesting. But oh, I forgot a couple things. So also kingbjfitness.com, kingbjmedia.com. I forgot all that other stuff that I had put in there. And like I said, Bernard 1121 Instagram. So yeah, it was very interesting. But like I said, it's also very interesting. So, you know, like I said, my good friend that was staying with me, you know, her birthday was yesterday. Kind of weird that, you know, that she wasn't here. I mean, like just 2 weeks ago, everything was all good like 2 weeks ago, and then, you know, well, I don't know. But that's just life. I mean, you know, I had to get back to, you know, what I was doing. I'm like, I had to say, hey, this, you know, could happen to anybody, right? So there's a lot more people, and I'm about to go more in depth on this. A lot of young people could, you know, commit suicide. I'm not saying it was her per se, but that's the way people are leaning with it. But it is what it is. Like I said, they always say everybody's not gonna be with you when you started, and a lot of people not gonna be with you when you end. So that's just the way I had to look at it. But like I always say, salute to both of them, my mom and her, for always supporting me. So, and my mom was not even there actually all that. I mean, she wasn't even. She kind of was like, so she was like, he just makes his own way. Let him be him, because he can find cracks and figure things out. That's what she always said. I mean, you just find a way, just somewhere, just to think of something. She was like, she always told me I was bright. She didn't agree with a lot of stuff, but she always told me I was bright. So that's
Oh, and what was the favorite dish you used to cook? Your mom used to cook?
I don't know. She used to cook good steak. The good steak or something like that. Not me, Monique. You see, that's Sunday. Yeah, 2 days early. But but thank you anyway. But yeah, so but then with all that being said, I'll I gotta get back up at like 6 o'clock. So y'all take your time, and I'm gonna try to do one more show before Sunday. Who knows? I might even do it on Sunday. I don't know. It is what it is. Take your time.
All right, peace, man.
All right.
Yes, sir. Take your time.